Hello, my name is Bethany Spurrier, and I'd like to welcome you to the opening session of Guild Builders 2025-2026 season. Unfortunately, this is not the way I would hope to greet you this Saturday, but I do have COVID, and to help protect everybody else, I am self-isolating right now, but we will take advice from our friend Dory and just keep swimming. I wanted to first introduce myself to anyone who may not know me. Like I said, my name is Bethany Spurrier. Um, I will be directing the upcoming production of Finding Nemo Jr. I began acting at the age of 11, so at the age of many of our guild builders. I was active in theater all through college. I have assistant directed 3 plays, including last season's Beauty and the Beast. And I've also directed 3 church plays. I've been seen on stage at the Guild in Oliver, The Miracle Worker, Little Women, and the upcoming production of Annie. I'm also a puppets and props designer for Dracula, which is about to open in just a few weeks. And I did costuming for a few of the characters in Oz at MOVP. I do have a lot of puppetry experience. I started doing puppetry as a teenager and performed puppet shows and sketches in a few different countries and all over the Southeast. And I'm also a mom of 2 guild builders, who are also unable to attend today and are self-isolating. Enough about me. Let's get on to what we really want to all hear about, which is Finding Nemo Jr. Briefly, let's just give a summary of the story. And then after this, you're going to watch a video of the Disney Parks version of Finding Nemo Jr., which we will be using, we will be referencing and will be inspiring our production very heavily. So in summary, Marlin is an over-anxious and overprotective clownfish. He lives on the Great Barrier Reef with his kid Nemo, who longs to explore the world beyond their anemone home. Nemo is captured and taken to Sydney, and Marlin has to face his fears and sets off on an epic adventure across the ocean. With the help of lovable characters such as optimistic Dory, laid-back sea turtle Crush, and the supportive Tank Gang, Marlin and Nemo both overcome challenges on their journey to find each other and find themselves. The Guild Builders production of Finding Nemo Jr. will utilize a puppetry technique called the double event. The double event was coined by Julie Taymor in her design of the Lion King musical. It was derived from a 16th century Japanese puppetry technique called bunraku puppetry. Bunraku puppeteers, called ningu-yazkai, I'm probably butchering that, I apologize, are clothed in black and are often visible on stage while they operate large puppets, called ningoyo. Taymor's concept of the double event further involved bunraku puppetry. The puppeteer is not only present, but is celebrated. The puppeteer is costumed like the character, uses expressions that are limited by using expressions that would be limited by traditional puppetry. The actor speaks and moves like the character. The audience is expected to switch their focus back and forth between the puppet and the puppeteer, and that is what is known as the double event. The double event is, also it's together, the puppet and the puppeteer together become the character. So you have the puppets, you have the puppeteer, and together they are the character in the double event. Taymor's 1997 production of The Lion King revitalized the use of puppetry in modern theater. Many shows were inspired by this concept of the present puppeteer or the double event. I put up a few pictures of shows that I've seen, such as Winnie the Pooh, the new musical, Frozen, and Life of Pi, which, interestingly, the puppeteer team from Life of Pi was awarded an Olivier Award, which is the first ever awarded to a puppeteer team for their use of puppetry with the tiger. His name is Richard Parker. So this year's Guild Builder show is also inspired by the double event. We're working on building puppets right now, many of which you are going to help build during our October 4th session of Guild Builders. But here is some of the concept art of what we're working on. As you can see, there's a variety of puppet types that we're going to be utilizing, like rod puppets for Nemo or Dory. The tank gang here shown is also rod puppets, but we also have full body puppets like Crush. In fact, we're going to be using 75 hand puppets, 60 rod puppets, 13 puppet masks, 12 shadow puppets, and 10 body puppets. And here is a good example of all the different types of puppets that we'll be using. Hand puppets are operated by the puppeteer putting their hand into the puppet. One thing that you can start practicing now is most of us don't talk with our jaw flapping back. So puppets will use only the thumb and keep the top of your hand straight to operate a hand puppet. Rod puppets use a trigger mechanism to operate the rod that may operate the mouth. I'm working on some articulations around eyebrows and eyes as well. And flapping wings as well are going to be on a rod puppet. Uh, Puppet masks, we have several sharks, not our three main named sharks, but several backup dancer sharks that will be wearing shark masks. That's one of the puppet pieces that you're going to be building later in the season, as well as there are jellyfish masks. And we're going to be using shadow puppets in one scene too. So utilizing, another puppetry technique through the use of shadow puppets. And then 10 puppets that I'm referring to as body puppets, where basically there's a large fern or an anemone or a giant turtle that is operated with the puppeteer's entire body. So the cast size for the show is going to be 40. The reason we are not going to be able to open the cast size up beyond that has to do primarily with the size of the stage. In Beauty and the Beast, I worked with a cast of 37 and adults, and so I felt confident to be able to handle a cast of 40. Also, there's constraints around the puppetry build. And that limit the size of our cast, and really most importantly, one of the things that I found personally and also that I've seen with my kids is we want to make sure that everyone stays engaged throughout the whole show. So if you have maybe just one little scene at the beginning or one little scene somewhere in the show and you don't have anything else to do for the length of the performance, it's not as much fun. It's really not as much fun. So because of that, we want to make sure that everybody is able to learn from the experience, pay attention, and not cause trouble or distractions to the other actors. We are limiting the cast size to 40. However, that being said, I did want to mention I'm very excited about relaunching the apprenticeship program. So we will, in advance of casting, So in advance of casting, we will be interviewing for an apprentice director, apprentice music director, apprentice tech director, apprentice stage manager, and possibly others. So something to keep an eye out for. That will also follow an upcoming Guild Builders session. We're very excited about that. Other offstage opportunities will include spotlight operators, we'll need stagehands, we'll need puppet wranglers who may also be asked to do makeup. I hope you're as excited as I am about the upcoming Guild Builder season and the opportunity to work and create together to create this underwater world for Finding Nemo Jr. I look forward to meeting each of you in future Guild Builder sessions, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.